I've been in church my entire life, and when I was in high school, I joined Young Life, and Bob was my Young Life leader. When I was in college, he reached out to me, and he told me about Wellspring, and he told me that this is just a need in our community for young people to go, especially in their 20s when they're making those difficult decisions in their life, and just a place to have community. And for me, honestly, I had to make a lot of difficult decisions when I was in my 20s. And without my Wellspring family, I don't know if I would have made the right decision. So I'm just really thankful to have a church that not only encourages me and challenges me, but inspires me to be the person that God's created me to be.
When Wellspring opened, just being a part of Young Life and knowing Dave and Bob well, I was immediately drawn to it. And Wellspring has played such a huge role in my life in a lot of ways. It's given me great community, and it's given me a great place as a Young Life leader to be able to invite Young Life kids to. It's something that is relevant to young people's lives. It's something that kids can come to, and it doesn't necessarily feel churchy as though they might think a church is, and it's something different. It's something transparent. It's something relevant in their lives, and so it has been great. And for my family, it's been so much fun, just the community of other young parents and people our age that we've found to hang out with. It has just been great, and Wellspring has been, such a blessing to the town, such a blessing to Central High School where I work, and so it has just been great over the last 10 years.
I started coming to Wellspring in the fall of 2009. I was looking for a church in the St. Joe area that I could call home. I came into Wellspring on that first Sunday and went to the back of the church, sat in the far corner of the last pew, hopefully not to be noticed by anyone, because we certainly didn't want to get out of my comfort zone. I listened to the worship music that day and listened to Bob's message, and I walked out the door that day thinking, wow, and I knew I was going to come back.
For us, God brought us to Wellspring, I think to gain a new sense of community.
Yeah, I agree.
We came in here, I think Bob said it best today. I felt that my soul was restless. I now feel my soul sings when I come in here.
For early on, kind of in the history of Wellspring or whatever, I remember sending Bob a text that just said, hey, thank you for being the pastor of Wellspring, and I just want you to know, I feel like you're the first pastor I've ever really had. And I meant that, and I still mean it. He's just been a pastor in my life. He's been a spiritual director. He's challenged me. He's walked with me through difficult times. He's been there to encourage me and challenge me and be a friend, right? That's what a pastor should be, is someone that's just a friend. And, Bob's been all those things.
When I look at Wellspring and think how it's affected me and Amy, I see God showing his abundance and his generosity to us through that. I see musicians, I see artists, I see caregivers, I see teachers, everyone just lending their gifts for a greater purpose and for this story that we're living. And when we see that, it just makes us so happy and joyful because we see Jesus in that. We see his abundance and his love and how he loves to give so much. And so when we see that, we just give him praise and glory through that. And it's encouraging, it's refreshing, it rejuvenates us, and it again feeds into our story of giving purpose and us doing our part for the kingdom and for God and bringing other people into that story as well. So that's what I see, that's what we see. Wellspring has impacted us and how God's working in our lives through that.
I forgot what I was going to say already. So my 2 points were...
Your 2 points were that...
dig deep and community where people are real. Okay.
Yeah.
The messages at Wellspring encourage you to look deeper and really evaluate your life and evaluate your relationship with God. It's definitely not an easy thing, but that's good. And the community of people, they don't feel they have to be a certain way around each other. They don't feel like they have to fit a certain mold to be loved and welcomed. And so you can come into this community and feel like Jesus is near, because he is.
Yeah, Angie and I just appreciate so much of the encouragement that Wellspring has provided for us over the years. It's really opened up our eyes to the lives and stories of other people, and just kind of making ourselves vulnerable and helping them. And I just don't know that we would do that without the examples that have been provided inside of Wellspring Church. They've just been there for us during the trying times, encouraged us during the difficult situations, and provided the love and encouragement when we really needed it.
I've just watched Bob grow since he's become pastor, because he's just been humble and recognized those times where he's just really been, he just kind of messed things up, or just really knows that he was in the wrong, and has been able to admit that, and so it's just been an example to me of just humbleness and being able to admit wrong and to look at why those things were happening in his own personal life, and so that's influenced me to do the same.
So when I first started coming to Wellspring, my thought process about a church was that it was something that you just checked off the box, something that you just did every week. And when I got pulled into Wellspring, when our family got pulled into Wellspring, it really ended up being something completely different, something that really changed our lives. And what I realized is that the church really isn't within these walls that we're standing within. It's a living and breathing thing. It's a community of people who love Christ and seek a relationship with him, who love each other, and then who go out and serve. And so every time I stand within these walls, I just get this feeling that like we are in this battle. And I get so excited when I look around, and it has nothing to do with how many people are in the pews. It just has to do with looking around and realizing that we are all equipping ourselves and putting on the armor of God to go out into the world for one more week and to serve Christ.
So 4 years ago, I was able to be a part of the internship here and that Justin leads in the summer, and that was just really amazing. And God really showed up there and just kind of let me see how selfish I was, and like I needed to be doing more. So I was able to be put in a job that let me kind of see, I don't know, I guess the best word for now looking back is kind of like the least of these. So yeah, then we moved into the house, and it sounds so crazy and scary, and it was, and it still is every day. I've totally been in this place of just thanking God every day now, just like, man, I get to live this dream. I get to be around these people and just like know them and just like see God's love through them, and it's really, really awesome. The best part I think about all of it is my dad has been able to be a part of this and getting baptized, and he'll tell you he originally came because after I quit my full-time job and moved in over here, he wanted to know what kind of Kool-Aid that was being served for me, and I just, yeah. So now he's like totally sold out and challenging me and reading the Bible and pushing me to places. And so yeah, God is just everywhere in Wellspring and in this neighborhood and on these people, and it's just so amazing to see the light that he shines, and we get to be in that story with him.